It started from a conversation with a woman named Cindy. I had worked with her for a while at the bookstore, and now that we were both on to more professional careers, I thought I could utilize our acquaintance for some hand crushing. I decided to call her and explain that I was working with a friend who shot demos for shoe company commercials. These demos were not commercials themselves, but spot demos that gave the client an idea of what the real ads would entail. I told her that I needed a shoe model and that we would be able to pay her $20 an hour. She agreed, and I got her shoe size, 7.5, and set the date. The day before I was to shoot the demos with her, I went to Shoe City. After confirming that I would have no difficulty returning any merchandise, I proceeded to browse and buy 5 stunning pairs of spike-heeled shoes. Nothing slutty, just 3.5 to 4-inch high-heeled shoes. I told the girl at the counter they were for my girlfriend, and she and the lady in line behind me complimented me on my generosity. The day of the shoot, I had my VHS camcorder loaded and ready. Cindy arrived and I showed her the shoes. The first phase of the shoot consisted of having her walk all over my nice white shirt, and although I wasn't inside of it at the time, it was a nice taste of the fun that was to come. I had her walk around for about 3 minutes with each pair. The shirt still has the little heel prints. Phase 2 of the shoot consisted of what I call the junk walk. I told Cindy that she needed to stand and face the TV. We shot in my TV room, and I rented a movie, Enemy of the State, to keep her attention focused on the tube. With the aid of a chair for balance, I told her that she needed to step back and forth over the junk, old books, magazines, a baseball glove, some clothing, all piled up behind the chair. I told her it was imperative that she does not look down and see what item she was standing on. I said she should focus on the TV and just move slowly as to not risk injury. I told her that the point was to demonstrate how a confident woman doesn't care what's in her way. She started moving and I got to work. With me operating the camera directly behind her aimed toward the center of the pile, I placed my hand in the middle of the mess. Let me tell you, all my comrades who are into hand and finger crush, I've been stepped on hundreds of times. It has never ever been this painful. Because the junk was there and Cindy knew to keep walking on it, she was totally oblivious to my hand as it literally became hamburger beneath her spikes. All 5 pairs wreaked incredible havoc on my right hand. First, a pair of 3.5-inch stacked heels crushing the tips of my fingers. Next, a pair of purple and black 4-inch snakeskin pumps. Twice she caught the inside of my middle and ring finger where it comes into a V. Then the blood began to flow. I impressed myself for not shouting out. There were 4 or 5 instances where I had to excuse myself, and I went and tried to clean up the mess, the torn skin, the gouges. I returned only to have Cindy step onto my fingers again. A very tall pair of narrow black strappy heels found my hand. The sole crushed my fingers and the heel stabbed into the top of my hand near the wrist. After about 45 minutes of this, I told her, "Okay, let's move on to something else." I succeeded in keeping my bloody hand from her view. I think I'm permanently scarred. I had to tell friends that I put my hand through a glass storm door. Finally, the last phase and the most daring for me, inspired by some trampling videos recently. I told Cindy that the clients, particularly 9 West, was looking for the human stair shot. I explained that I would lay on my back, and she would use me as a step to go up onto a footstool that was next to me. She was reluctant, fearing that it would hurt me, but after reassuring her that she wouldn't and that I've done those hundreds of times, I laid down and she proceeded to step up on me and come down on me with each pair of those beautiful spikes. Friends, it was incredible. From my position, I could see each spike press and stab into my stomach and chest, and she just continued on. We did this for 25 minutes. I had heel marks on the right and left side of my body. Eventually, they turned into dark and beautiful shades of purple. The aftermath. As Cindy left, I handed her $60 and thanked her for her 3 hours' work. Then I returned the shoes to Shoe City, recovering my $200. Now you may say $60 is a lot of money, and it is, but not only did I have an amazing trample crush experience, but I taped it from my own personal archive. Hell, I've spent $100 on tapes before, not any that I participated in. It was easily the best money I've ever spent. Oh, one more thing, she called me recently to ask if there were any more shoots coming up. She needs a few extra bucks.